looking here with your gamer goggles, and we are at Origins Game Fair in the Mr. B Games booth, and I'm here with
Glenn Drover.
That works very well. And we're going to look at
Raccoon Tycoon.
Oh, wow, this is a pricing production card. I'm glad he said Raccoon Tycoon because I was reading the big letters. And this kickstarts Tuesday night.
Yep.
Or Tuesday sometime.
We should Kickstarter. We should launch about 10 a.m. Central Time on June 19th. Next Tuesday.
That works. Probably when I'll be putting it up.
Perfect.
I'm guessing this is my hand.
That is your hand. Both players will start with 3 price and production cards, but we'll take a step back and I'll talk about the basic 5 things you can do in the game. Very simple. The game is a commodities, optimization, and collection game. So you can do 5 things on your turn. One is to play a price and production card, and you can collect the commodities here on the bottom, any 3 of these, and the prices go up on whatever's up here. And so you can see different cards will have different amounts and types of commodities, and so you'll be pushing the prices up on things that are not necessarily what you're collecting. So you may be helping your opponent. So that's one of the decisions, is which card am I going to play that helps me but doesn't help my opponent too much. The second thing you can do is, once you've collected a bunch of commodities, is you can sell them. So if I have 4 of these luxury goods here, and the luxury price is up to 10, I can sell those and then get $40, but it pushes the price down 4 spots. So you're trying to manipulate the marketplace on driving prices up that help you, collecting commodities that help you, and ultimately selling when the price is at its peak. So that's one. You can produce or sell. Those are 2 of the options. Once you've gotten money, now you can do some interesting things. One of them is to build these buildings. There's the money, the prototype money. You can build buildings that will help you with production. These are the basic production bonus buildings. So if I produce, let's just say this, I would get 1 wheat, 1 wood, and 1 coal. If I own this building, I'm going to get another wheat on top of what I'm collecting. And if I upgrade, I can make that 2 wheat. So I can get actually 5 commodities with that 1 production. And this will sit in front of you, and you'll get that every time you produce.
What's the $9 mean?
That's the cost. So this is what you paid to own the building. This is what you pay to upgrade to a double.
And A and B is obviously which? Oh no, they're both say B.
They're both B. That's their bonus buildings. So if I have more than 1 of these, I have to pick which one I'm going to utilize on that turn. I can't use both and get the bonus from both.
Okay.
Now, once you've gotten past these buildings, there are lots of advanced buildings that give you lots of fun ways to break the game, or break the rules, I should say, not the game. So you could, on this one, get more warehouse space. You can hoard more commodities and drive the price up before you have to sell. With this one, it's a trading firm. You can get money every time anyone sells those 2 commodities. You can make money as like almost a commission. This one gives you points if you have more railroad cards, and we'll get to those in a minute. And this one allows you to have more cards in your hand, so you have more options. So basically, these buildings are your engine that will help you do things more efficiently and gain more money with every action. Alright, so those are 3 of the things that you can do. The 4th one is these cards, which are the railroad cards. And these are the ones that have the beautiful animal artwork by Annie Stead. Really nice art. And these are where victory points come into play. And this is how you're going to win the game. So basically, on any turn, you can have an auction for any one of one of the 2 cards that's set up here on the board. So these would be down, and you would say, "Hey, I'm going to have an auction for Raccoon or the Tycoon Railroad." And the auctions have to start at this number, so you'd start at 7, and we all bid until everyone drops but 1 player, and then they would pay for it. Now the extra twist is, if I'm the one who started the auction and I don't win the auction, I still get another action. So my action isn't burned by someone else winning it. So I could actually theoretically have auction after auction after auction if I keep losing. Right? And so these cards could be burned through pretty quickly, and that's one way that the game ends. When all of these are taken, the game will end. And if you own sets of these, so if I own 2 Tycoons, it's worth 9 victory points instead of 4. And you can see it ramps up pretty quickly to 25 if you have all 4 of them. So that's where you can really ramp up your victory points. The other way is to purchase these town cards. And the town cards are simply purchased with commodities. So in this case, I would pay 2 coal, and I would own the card, or I could use any 4 commodities. So anything. I could use wheat, wood, coal, iron, anything. And it's less efficient, but I have more flexibility. And this particular town's only worth 2 victory points, but if I marry it together with a railroad in a town connected, I get a bonus 2. So all this together would be worth 4 plus 2 plus 2. So that would be 8 points if I own those 2 cards. And that's the entire game, really. It's all about,
So how does turn structure go?
Turn structure is it just goes around, and each player takes one action, one of those 5 actions, and it moves very quickly. So as soon as you take your turn, if you're even in a 4 or 5 player game, it's going to come back to you pretty quickly.
So 2 to 6 players it is? Or?
2 to 5 out of the box. You could play 6. There's really nothing holding back 6.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
That was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.